Welcome back, King Mo here to the program. He's getting ready to fight Phil Davis, Bellator 154 coming up May 14th. Saw an interview on MMA Junkie Radio with Phil Davis, and they put the question to him, like, how was Mo, if Mo has a chance to win this fight, how can he win the fight? Of course, you know, he's going to say he can't win the fight. That's what every athlete's going to say. But he was serious. He's like, there's no place in the MMA game that Mo is better than me, except for wrestling. And he doesn't use his wrestling for MMA. So he's like, this fight should be, you know, I should win this fight relatively easily is basically what he's saying. I don't agree with that, but I want to hear your take on that.
You know what? Ain't no take. I want him to think that going there overconfident, if you want to stand with me, we can stand. If you want to wrestle with me, we can wrestle. You know, but, you know, if you want to do MMA, we can do MMA. But, you know, he's not confident standing. He's not really confident. He's not really, you know, confident wrestling unless he, you know, has to. You know, I'm gonna put pressure on him. I'm gonna, you know, he'll see what's gonna happen because all the talking, he can talk and seem like he's confident, but deep down inside, he's really not that confident.
You're 13. Oh, excuse me, you're 19-4, and he's 15-3. So the records are relatively close. You both had high profile fights. Both fought some tough guys. Lost to some tough guys. Speaking, you know, on paper, looking at it, it's pretty equal. It's pretty even. What makes you stand up and stand out against him?
I got knockout power, something he don't got. I got power. I'm versatile. You know, I haven't shown it, but because I like to punch people, but I just feel like I think he's gonna underestimate me. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna overestimate his skills, and I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna put knuckles in his face and something he won't like. You know, I'm gonna put pressure on him. He's gonna. You know, I've been training hard for this, and he's gonna see what I have to do because really, there's nothing to really talk about. I don't have to sell nothing. Y'all just gotta tune in and watch him whoop his ass. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm serious.
Has this training camp been any different? Because you're dealing with a guy that's super tall, super long and lanky, and has good wrestling skill. You know, obviously because he wrestled at Penn State, not as good as Oklahoma State, but still wrestled at Penn State. At the time, it wasn't as good at the time. Now it's flip flop. But
yeah, it's flip flop. Yeah. But that's because I got super recruits. But
yeah.
The thing is, like, you know, camp's been kind of the same, a little different. I focus on certain different things. I brought in a few boxers just to work on boxing. Went to Oklahoma before camp to work on some stuff with Alan Green. He's a former Super 6 competitor. I'm sparring with this guy named Steve Gaffard with boxing because I like to just keep my punches sharp. Doing grappling and wrestling with Steve Mako and Carl Zapato and Maheta and a bunch of other guys. We just got a bunch of bodies here. You know, some guys aren't known, but some guys like Jake Memon, he's a guy I worked with. I just got a bunch of bodies. Some guys are not really known. Some guys are. I got Alan Vera. He's defected from Cuba, and he's a Greco-Roman wrestler who worked on cage position. My boy Mohammed Abdel Fattah, he's from Egypt. He came to train with Karim Gaber. He came down and trained with me. So I have a good cast of training partners here.
You got those are all really good specialty guys, except for Steve Mako, of course, who's now jumping to MMA. Like everybody else, though, is like a great Greco wrestler, a great boxer, a great, Greco guys, it's easy transition for them to push against the cage. Like they're very accustomed to that. So it's easy to make that transition. But for a guy like Phil, and of course it's a fight, you got to spend some time with some good MMA guys who might be unknown. Like we don't know them, but they're great bodies in the room. And every room has those guys that nobody knows about, but are amazing. Yeah. Does ATT have a lot of those guys too that are great bodies for you to work with?
We have a lot of great bodies. Guys from Brazil, England. So I don't know who half these guys are. They just pop up, and I'm like Chris Spong. He's Andreas Spong's brother. Yeah. He came down and was like with Ilyar Latif, and they're at the gym, and I was training with him. He's a long, lanky guy that still kicks. Yeah. You know, a lot of times I will spar, and then they're like, "All right, jump in." You know, they'll have a Greco guy jump in, push against the cage. We'll spar, throw situations and circuits all at the same time to keep me guessing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you're sparring one-on-one with somebody, you get the upper hand, then you can just cruise. But if you're sparring and then at any time they'll be like, all right, jump in. All right, Mo, give me your leg. All right, Mo, give me your knees, front headlock position. Mo, on your back. While you're sparring, then you have to be sharp at all times.
Right. So you seem to have a great training camp. You obviously with ATT is known for having great champions in their ranks as well. Of course, Robbie Lawler, that's where he trains and holds the belt right now. And for the UFC, but You look at these fight cards for Bellator, and I just saw something from Coker put out that Dada 5000 hit him up. It's like, hey, I want to fight again. Obviously having 2 heart attacks in the ring and looking horrible in that match make. That fight obviously was bad. And then the main event that night was Shamrock and Gracie Part 2. That was a horrible fight. I mean, for the old school fans. I personally think that Bellator swung and missed at the sensational fight. Like they swung with trying to get those 2 fights to be sensational, trying to bring back that kind of, let's pay attention to this organization. You know, we're doing crazy stuff, and they completely missed it. Like it completely fell apart because neither one of those fights are worth a damn. Coker said, Dada, let's just stay friends. I don't want you fighting for me anymore. And rightfully so. You can't take the risk. Do you feel like sometimes Bellator tries to make decisions that kind of backfire, you know, into their ranks?
Well, the thing is, you got to take the chances. You know, the thing about this, the UFC took the chances of having James Toney fight Randy Couture. How'd that fight end up? You know what I'm saying? James Toney versus Randy Couture. Like, you got to take chances. This is not a true sport. Wrestling is a true sport. MMA is entertainment. You know, like the fact that Dada, you know, Dada has a name just off because he fought Kimbo, and those 2 had beef. So it was easy to promote those 2 because those 2 are bigger than life, and it's entertainment. And the thing is, the 2 street fighters, so people expect the street fight. But here's the thing: street fights don't work well in the cage. That's what MMA fighters, we know this. It's like MMA doesn't really work that well in a street fight because a street fight, so you can get jumped, you can get stabbed. There's no rules in a street fight. But when you step in the cage, you have to do it with the commission. You have referees. You have nobody jump in. Street fights last 30 seconds. You can see Dada gassing out, looking at the referee like, hey, so we're going to jump in and break this up. You know, people sometimes you're doing a street fight and people jump in. Someone gets jumped. You see, that's like you have to have technique in the cage, and you know, after 30 seconds, technique, if you're gassed, technique kicks in.
Yeah,
Dada didn't have it, you know, but I give him this. Dada fought his heart out, literally. He died in the cage, and I give him this. Most people, when they get fatigued, they quit in the stool. He actually got up and kept on trying to fight. Which is like, I give him that, you know, like most men won't do that.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. You got to give him props. And let's be honest, I don't care how bad the athlete is. If he's willing enough to take the chance to get into the cage at any level, that's a Superman right there. Just getting in there. I don't care if you're 0-500. You have stepped up the game just because you're willing to go in there, knowing for sure I'm trying to do you damage and you are trying to do me damage throughout this fight. And we're going to walk away and we're going to see what happens. So that you got to give him props for that. You look at this card you're on, the co-main event. You're the main event, obviously, you and Phil. The co-main event's Chandler and Josh Thompson, another very heavy wrestler co-main event. It kind of seems like the way that Bellator puts these cards together, if they're not sensationalized, it kind of has a theme. It seems like this theme is wrestling. Do you see that as well when you're looking at these cards? And when you got picked, knowing for sure you're going to fight Phil, you're like, oh, the co-main event's going to be a wrestler, 2 wrestlers too?
I don't know, but I just know this. One thing I do know is Bellator signed a lot of top American wrestlers, you know, Aaron Pico, Ed Ruth.
Yeah.
You know, I think Tyrell Fortune, I believe, is signed. I'm not sure. You got a bunch of guys. You know, I'm not going to say all the names because they didn't release them, but there are a lot of high-level wrestlers that are just fresh out of the international scene, maybe 2-3 years removed from college, that spent 2-3 years overseas wrestling or competing in freestyle and Greco, and they're coming to Bellator to fight. So we're seeing a different breed. Like me and you, we wrestled till we're like, all right, well, damn, you know, what we gonna do now? Let's go fight. You know, where these guys are like, okay, we wrestled, we didn't make the team. We're gonna go another 4 years. We're gonna jump into MMA right away because it's paying. We were like, all right, I'm at least wrestle 12 years or 8 years. Try to make this team. We like actually committed to wrestling. A lot of these guys are committing a cycle, maybe 2 to 4 years. And if they don't make it, then they're like, all right, MMA.
Do you think that's hurting wrestling? Because a lot of guys are like, look, I can't make the team. You know, there's a lot of guys that, you know, in my day that were third, you know, on the ladder and hung out long enough, and all of a sudden they made a couple world teams because they just were around long enough that everybody else on the top end kind of retired. Do you think this is hurting wrestling because these guys are getting out so quick?
No, because the top 3 guys aren't going to just leave to do MMA.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah.
They're going to stick around like, all right, I could be an Olympian. Aaron Pico, I told Aaron Pico, hey, man, you know, you should just keep on wrestle, take a few fights, beat up some bums, but focus on wrestling. I would love to come with you to Crescent Yards, and I'd love to travel with you because I like watching competition. I love watching freestyle and Greco. I will come with you to watch you compete. If you want me to get you water or tie you off, I'll do that because I love wrestling. I've been away from it, but I still watch freestyle and Greco.
Yeah, yeah. And right now, at the time of this interview, it's April 29th. Mo fights on May 15th or 14th, excuse me.
Yeah.
This weekend is the National Open in Vegas. And so, like right now, Tito Ortiz, I saw him last night out at the Wynn. I just bumped into him. Didn't know he was in town. Bumped into him. His kids, all three of his kids, are winning. His youngest son, one of the twins, is a national champion. He's already won. He already got through and became a national champion already at the wrestling because they're doing the kids and the veterans and all that right now. And then today is Friday, so today starts the Open today for the Open match. It's all wrestling right now, and it's a huge deal in Vegas right now for this. And I do believe that a lot of guys are jumping out of wrestling a little bit too early. That could make Olympic teams. It could make world teams if they stayed in one more cycle. I would love to see Pico stay in there a little bit longer. I would love to see him keep wrestling and not jump into MMA too soon.
I think he's gonna keep on wrestling. I think guys that are right on the edge will keep on wrestling. Like guys that don't have a chance, they're gonna get out the.
Yeah, and they have to. Which brings me back to the number one flaw that every wrestler has and still has. Can't take us down. You can't put us on the ground, and then we realize we can hit hard, so we start punching. And you kind of fell into that game for a while too. We're like, no one can take me down, so I can stay on my feet all day long. So I'm just going to work on my boxing and be super heavy on boxing. You've kind of changed up a little bit now, right? Where you said earlier you're doing a lot of you've been working with a lot of boxers, but you're also working on a lot of your grappling game as well. Is it specifically for Phil you've been doing that, or have you been working on your grappling for a while?
I've been working on my grappling for a while, but what happened was that I was injured, so I really couldn't wrestle. I really couldn't do a lot because of my knees, from all the surgeries.
That's right.
So I just had to focus on a little Greco, a little stand up, and sprawl and brawl because I really couldn't. My knee was all messed up. Now I can wrestle. I can mix it up. I've been working some things. That I'm a surprise Phil with.
Good, nice. I like it, Mo. Thanks so much for coming on here. I appreciate it. Great to hear from you again, man. Have a great rest of your training camp, and I'll be at home watching you for sure, man. I can't wait to see this fight.
All right, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
All right, man.